Paris 13 Atletico isn't the most historic club in France. Founded in 1968 as FC Gobelin, they have never reached higher than the Championnat National, where they are now. A merger with Stade Olympique Paris in 2012, along with another name change in 2020, led us to today, where the club with the Goblins as their nickname are officially named Paris 13 Atletico. With the club bouncing up and down between the 5th and 3rd tier over the last few years, can I bring them up to Ligue 1 for the first time? Well, not I, but Didier Desmåen. He's a small old fellow who looks like he's going out on St. Patrick's Day, and he only wants one thing: to take over the reins as the biggest club in Paris. He's sick and tired of seeing PSG win everything every single year. Except for the Champions League, of course. And to show them how it's done, he wants to only sign Africans. Sort of like a reverse colony. Before we start, I just have to say that I've made an up-to-date database for all transfers in the French leagues down to the 3rd tier. And I've also merged it with the World Transfer Update database. So if you'd like to play along yourself, you can find the link to the database in the description. Now, let's jump in. The current squad is by no means all African. We almost have a full 11 of Africans or African second nationality players, so it's actually not that bad. We need a centre back and a lot of players for the bench. So we signed Damani, Mendy, Serbu and Amin Aid as emergency backup players and youngsters, Ewange, Asumo and Tiam as squad players in defense, Fontan and Lana as starters in midfield and attack, and we also bring in a few more players during the season, in Dosrais, Bouakane, El Kautari and Dabo. We brought in a lot of experience on one-year contracts, and we'll probably have a big rebuild ahead of us after this season. The season preview has us in 9th. That's way better than I imagined. But I do think that FM counts in the players that are at the club but won't play, so we might do worse. Or maybe better, who knows? I certainly don't. The first game of the season and save is away to FC Rouen. We'll play with this 4-3-3 tactic, by the way, where we have a playmaker ahead of 2 DMs. I think it's an interesting variant of the classic 4-3-3 and I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays. Both teams hit the woodwork early on. Before Jack Lane scored from Guel's looping cross to get the very first goal of this new journey. Kadiapom Mendy then decided to do this to get us the second goal. Rouen then reduced the arrears before Kadiapom Mendy scored this towering header to give us a 3-1 win to open the season. We win the next game as well, 2-1 against Bologna after going 1-0 down. So 2 wins from 2 games, but that quickly changed. Sochaux ran all over us in the 3rd game, as we lost 4-1. We then also lost 1-0 against Orléans as they scored from their only chance, while we struggled to score.
Yes! 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 No! 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 Balls!
Against Dijon and Le Mans, we draw 1-1 in both games. It's actually decent results, to be fair, as both teams are expected to be near the top. We then ran over Concarneau 3-0 in the next game, before we once again lost, this time to Villefranche. But this was so bullshit. The goal they scored was because of Sanou getting injured while punching the ball away. They then scored on the completely open net while he lay there hurt. Where is the fair play? I've never seen this in FM, and I am shocked. So we lost 1-0 as they scored that in the 88th.
Let's not take the piss here.
The next 2 games we were in 3-1 against Nîmes and 2-1 against Châteauroux. Guel, Darbo on his debut and Fontaine scored our goals against Nîmes. And against Châteauroux we went down to 10 men with 15 minutes to go, as Akwele Manga got his 2nd yellow. But Eneme Ella scored not long after to get us the win. After 10 league games we're in 7th. We've got a game in hand on 3 of the teams ahead of us, and if results go our way, we could get up to 3rd. We've been quite inconsistent though, so we need to improve on that. But the inconsistency continued. We lose 1-0 to a team called Goal, as they scored in the 91st. We then win the next 3 games actually, but just about. We win 1-0 against both Versailles and Valenciennes. and then 2-1 against Nancy. A thing I'm noticing is that there aren't as many highlights at this level as there is at levels above, and the games are quite dull a lot of the time. And the second to last game before the Christmas break, we somehow managed to lose to Aubagne. They're near the bottom of the table, and we managed to lose 2-1 after a horrific first half.
Peter, what are you doing? Crack? What the f***? Hey, at least I'm not drinking, Brian.
Thankfully though, we bounced back with a 3-2 win against Bourg-en-Bresse after a horrible closing 10 minutes. But everything until then was great.
What is the goalkeeper doing?
The Coupe de France has also played out alongside the league, and we've not done too bad. We won 5-0 against amateur side Erstein in the 6th round, which is where we enter apparently. We then just about won 1-0 against Njort, a team at the level below us. Dos Reis got a second yellow right before halftime for this completely clean tackle, so we played with 10 men for well over half the game, but we still got the win. And in the 8th round we lost very undeservedly, 3-0 against Dijon as they scored 3 from 0.28 xg. So we're out of the Coupe de France. Our captain Bruno Ekoelamanga and Junior Asumu are going to the AFCON. So we're without 2 of our defenders for a month. And because of that I signed a new defender to have some cover, in Sekou Condé. He's very tall and quite experienced, so he'll be a nice rotation option I think. The final game of the first half of the season was the dullest game of this save. There was not a single highlight as we drew 0-0 against QRM. So that means we're in 5th at the halfway point. We performed brilliantly after a bit of a tough start to the season. And hopefully we can continue. It is insanely tight though, and no one is really running away with the league to be honest. There's 4 teams on 30 points and 1st to 8th is split by 6 points. That's insane. We start the second half of the season with a great 4-1 win against Rouen. Rocha Santos got himself a brace from the spot as we got 2 penalties. The next game is at home against Sochaux, one of the top teams who are looking for promotion. We start horrifically in the first half, and we're down by 2 at the break. But in the second half, we decided to go beast mode. Guel scored from this nice pass from Bouekane, and Lamadi scored 14 minutes later to equalize. And 5 minutes after that again, Cervantes stole the ball from their defense and squared it for Dabo to tap into the open net to give us the lead and complete an insane comeback. We win 3-2 against Sochaux and have really boosted our chances of getting promoted.
Yeah! Really? You! Again? That's right, motherfucker! What the f*** you saying? What you f***ing saying, bitch?
We've signed a new right back by the way, in Pape Payet. He's another experienced player who'll come into the starting 11. But we do have some problems with the players already here. Our better players are starting to agree contracts with other clubs, as their contracts with us are up in the summer. Dabo, Rocha Santos and El Qatawi are amongst them. I've tried to negotiate with them, but they want ridiculous wages. They want between 3 and 7k a week, when they're currently earning a few £100. So there's not really anything I can do to keep them. And Dabo has just been injured as well, and is out for 2 to 3 months, so his career at the Goblins is basically done. We draw 0-0 against Orléans in another dull game, but it's a draw I'll actually take, as we didn't deserve anything. We then surprisingly smashed Dijon 4-0. They didn't have a single chance, as we took the current lead of the league.
Yeah, boy.
Against Le Mans in the next game, everything seemed to go swimmingly as we took the 2-1 lead in the 88th. Rabillard then scored to equalize in the 93rd. So at this point I'm thinking, okay, well, I'll take a draw. It's not that bad. But of course they score again. A full minute after the whistle should have been blown, the rat Rabillard scored again. So we lose 3-2 against Le Mans in what was a very important game for our promotion chances. We did it back though, by winning the next 3 games. We won deservedly 4-2 against Concarneau, 3-2 against Nîmes, and undeservedly 1-0 against Villefranche. So after 25 league games, we're in 3rd. We're equal on points with Sochaux in second, and we're 5 points behind Valenciennes in first, which we're playing next as well. We've also built up a 6-point gap down to Le Mans in fourth, so hopefully we can at least secure the promotion playoff spots. Against Valenciennes in the 26th league game, we missed a couple of good chances before Enema Ella pushed over his man to give them a pen. Bututau scored that to give them the lead. But 10 minutes later, we equalized as Rocha Santos went on this insane solo run before squaring it for Enema Ella to tap in. So a 1-1 draw against top of the league. I'll absolutely take that. We then lost 2-0 against Châteauroux of all teams. But we once again did hit back though, as we won 3-0 against Goal with Ekwele Manga and Guel with a brace scoring our goals. Before our next game, the youth intake came through, and it's not too good. The best talents are French, so we can't use them, and the African ones just aren't good enough. The next 2 games we disappointingly draw 1-1 against Versailles and hit back with a 3-0 win against Nancy. So after 30 league games, with 4 games to go, we're still in third. We're 4 points behind Sochaux in second, and we need to have a perfect end to the season to have a hope of going up automatically.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
We did start perfectly, as we won 3-0 against Aubagne, while Sochaux lost 2-0 against Valenciennes. So now we're only a point off Sochaux. We then drew against already relegated Bourg-en-Bresse in a horrific performance. And Sochaux also drew their game, so that was actually our opportunity. Somehow we managed to draw again in the next game. This time to QRM. That draw was all down to Bourcain, as he got a straight red after 22 minutes. So now we've gone from being automatic promotion candidates to being out of the playoff spot as well. The final game of the season is here, and we're facing Bologne away. We need Le Mans to drop points, and we need to win in order for us to get the playoff spots. We start by conceding 5 minutes in. But we then equalized just 2 minutes later, and from there it was a cakewalk. Guel scored with this really bad finish, before Lane scored with this incredible one. Lamadi then finished it off to make it a 4-1 win. But we miss out on all promotion action as Le Mans won their game. So after the Finnish league season, we finished 4th. We just about miss out on promotion and promotion playoffs because of our inferior head-to-head record against Le Mans and Sochaux. If it was on goal difference, we would have got the playoffs. But that's how it works in France apparently. And the reason we had that inferior head-to-head was because of the 2 goals we conceded in added time to Le Mans. So we'll have to go again next season and really push for automatic promotion.
Oh shit, here we go again.